To Nestalin, this will be a deposition on Matthew 24. We're going to start off by saying Our Father prayer in Amharic. So ones and ones can know Ethiopia had Christianity long before Rome. Abatachnoi, Besmia Yitmino, Simiakides Mengistimta, Fekadi Besmia Indionage, Indihun Bedemetehun, Iletinjerachanin, Satiana Zareberachanin Mikebelen, and I'm Yibelon Niki in the Minel, Abitu Refetanamatakban, Kififuadin in G, Mengisianten Antena, I limiskanamazela lamyamien. As a translation, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our IMF commercial trespass, as we have forgiven those Jesuit bankers who trespassed against us. And lead us not into any more IMF commercial temptations, but deliver us and rescue us from all Jesuit supremacy evils. For thine is the debt-free UN planetary kingdom, the power, the glory, the magnificence, and love, forever and ever, world without end. Selah. Okay, Matthew 24 was given to the disciples when Christos was on the Mount of Olives. Here today in the 21st century, our Archbishop Abona Yisa, he came to Jamaica and consecrated territory, mountains in East Kingston, Debussy, called Mount of Olives, which is what Debussy means. It says, Matthew 24:3, while he was sitting upon the Mount of Olives, which is Debussy, the disciples approached him privately, saying, privately, this is something between the Christ and his private disciples. Tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your presence, and the conclusion of the system of things under IMF globalization apostasy? And in answer, Ayesa said to them, look out that nobody misleads you, the Jesuits. For many will come on the basis of my name, saying, I am the Christos, and will mislead many. Many means 7 billion people have been misled. You are going to hear of wars and reports of wars. See that you are not terrified. For these things must take place for the man of international lawlessness to be exposed. But the end is not yet. It says, for nation, the word nation means a group of like-minded individuals. Today you have the group of bankers who see themselves as non-human, so they're a nation within themselves. But today we have a nation of Rastafari, which is a nation of Lord head creators. Nation of Jah means Lord, Ras means head, and Tafari means creator, which means creditor. We're just a bunch of Rasta bankers that's, taking out our righteous places within the world. It says, for nation of Rastafari will rise against the nation of Jesuit bankers, and the debt-free UN planetary kingdom of equality will rise against his global IMF kingdom of Usury. And there will be food shortages and political earthquakes in one place after another. That's because civil unrest all around the world when we find out the Pope is destroying conscious morality within the human race. All these things are a beginning of pangs of distress for the head Jesuit general who's hiding behind the Pope. Then people will deliver you up to tribulation and will kill you. That word kill means to stop. People will try to stop me from saying that I am the Ethiopian Messiah. And I will be objects of hatred by all the nations on account of my name. I was given a hereditary title by Emperor Haile Selassie I, and because of this, everyone's not understanding. This is what seals up the Solomonic link to the throne of David. Then also, many will be stumbled, like you're stumbling now because you thought someone was coming out the sky instead of giving you enlightenment and edification, and will betray one another and will hate one another. And many false prophets will arise and mislead many. And because of the increase of lawlessness, Jesuit supremacy, the love of the greater number will cool off. Whoa, wait a minute, the leaders are corrupt now. How do we send our kids to school when the leaders are corrupt? That means that the children are going to believe corruption is a part of their educational system. It's okay to be corrupt. But he that has endured to the end of global IMF apostasy is the one that will be diplomatically saved. And this good diplomatic news of the debt-free UN planetary kingdom which is coming will be preached in all the inhabited earth for witness to all the bankrupt nation states. And then the end of global IMF apostasy will come. Therefore, when you catch sight of the disgusting thing that causes desolation, as spoken of through Daniel the prophet, standing in a holy place, it is talking about the Pope in Jerusalem today. It says, the reader, use discernment. Then let those in Judea begin fleeing to the mountains. Let the man on the housetop not come down to take the goods out of his house, and let the man in the field not return to the house to pick up his outer garment. Woe to the pregnant women and those suckling a baby in those days. Keep praying that your flight may not occur in wintertime, nor on the Sabbath day. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the world's beginning until now. No, nor will occur again. In fact, unless these days are cut short, no flesh, political status, no one on earth that has a political status within the world of commerce will be diplomatically saved. But on account of the chosen ones, the elect, those that are with the autonomous faith of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Christian Church, these days will be cut short. It says, then if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ at the Vatican. The Pope represents the vicar in the world of commerce. It says, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and will give great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the chosen ones. Some scripture says even the elect. So all the way you see, just like Bob Marley said, is a fight against the Rastaman to fool the elect into being irresponsible and not standing up for their international rights as King Selassie I established it. It says, look, I have forewarned you. A forewarned, it means this is a prophecy. Now we have to understand the Ge'ez Bible was written long before Rome. So if this have any scriptural basis, a forewarnment would mean this is an Ethiopian prophecy, and it's telling you that in the latter days, the Piscean age, these things would occur. It says, therefore, if people say to you, look, he is in the Jesuit supremacy wilderness. He's out there in the streets. It says, do not go out. It says, look, he is in the inner chambers at the Vatican, secret society. Do not believe it. It says, for just as the lightning comes from the eastern parts and shines over to the western parts, so the divine presence of the Son of Humanity will be. What this is speaking of is enlightenment. There's no position, there's no place on earth where you can see lightning flash forth from the east to the west and the whole planet sees it at the same time. But there is a position where the eastward side of your brain meets the leftward side of your brain, and together you can have cognition within what you're understanding, so we can move forward with a proper focus of prophecy. It says, wherever the Caracas is, there the eagles will be gathered together. Now, Caracas is speaking of dead bodies. Today, the world, every human being is politically dead. But your birth certificate is registered at the UN, It's registered with your government, but every government is bankrupt, to the United Nations. This is the world of globalization that we're in today. It's paper slavery, chattel slavery. It says, immediately after the IMF tribulations of those days, the sun will be darkened. It's talking about the Son of Righteousness. There's no one on the throne today. So which way do we go? It says, and the moon will not give its light. The moon will represent the throne of David. There is no human rights defender on the throne of David today. Light will represent the law. And the stars would represent those with insight, will fall from heaven. Heaven is the empire of Ethiopia, which is in political exile until Shiloh comes. And the powers is knowledge, of the heavens of Ethiopia will be shaken. Someone's coming. And then the sign of the Son of Humanity will appear in Empire of Ethiopia. And then all the tribes of the earth will beat themselves in lamentation, and they will see the Son of Humanity coming on the clouds of heaven. Clouds would represent fallen people. When the emperor's on the throne, it is the Orthodox faith that coordinate them and put them on the throne. So it would be obvious if there's a prophet to come forward today, he would have to come forward with clouds, the fallen people of the Ethiopian Orthodox tewahedo Christian faith in the Western Hemisphere. On the clouds of heaven, Ethiopia, with power, human rights knowledge, and great glory. And he will send forth his angels with a great trumpet sound, and they will gather his chosen ones together from the four winds, from the extremity of the heavens to the other extremity. Now learn from the fig tree as an illustration this point. Just as soon as its young branches grows tender and it puts forth its leaves, you know that summer is near. Likewise also, when you see all these diplomatic things, know that he, Ethiopian Messiah, is near at the doors of global commerce. Truly, and I say to you that this 21st century generation will by no means pass away until all these diplomatic things occur. Heaven, the empire of Ethiopia, and earth, 193 member nation states, will commercially pass away, contractually. But my words, the UN Charter, will by no means pass away. Concerning that day and hour, nobody knows, neither the angels of Ethiopia, nor the son of perdition, the Vatican, but only the Father Majesty of Ethiopia that resides with the Son. For just as the days of Noah, Noah means a preacher of righteousness, just as those days were when Noah was preaching righteousness, it says, so the presence of the Son of humanity will be. For as they were in those days before the flood, eating and drinking, men marrying, and women being given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark of the covenant. And they took no note until the flood came and swept them all away. So the presence of the Son of humanity will be. Then two men will be in the field, Iasos Christos, our Ethiopian Messiah, and the vicar for Jesus Christ, the Pope at the Vatican. One will be taken along. I and I must go to the UN in Geneva for international remedy on Emperor Haile Selassie I's divine covenant, which is a sacred agreement with all humanity. And the other be abandoned. The Vatican will be exposed. The Pope will be recognized as the man of international lawlessness and the one oppressing humanity with fictitious banking policies. Two women will be grinding at the handmill. One will be taken along and the other will be abandoned. Women represent churches. The Ethiopian Orthodox tewahedo faith and the Vatican Catholic Church are at the handmill of human salvation. One has taken you into apostasy, and we are here today to take you into debt-free UN planetary kingdom, a new system of things, a new world, Lion of Judah, Christos order. It says, keep on the watch, therefore, because you do not know on what day your sovereign Lord, political master, is coming. But know one thing, that if the householder, this Pope, had known in what watch the human rights thief was coming, he would have kept awake and not allowed his house to be broken into. On this account, you too prove yourselves ready, because at an hour that you do not think to be it, the Son of humanity is coming. Who really is the faithful and discreet slave whom his master appointed over his domestics, to give them their food at the proper time? Happy is that slave if his master on arriving finds him doing so. Truly, and I say to you, he will appoint him over all his belongings. But if that evil slave should say in his heart, my master is delaying, and should start to beat his fellow slaves, and should eat and drink with the confirmed drunkards, the master of that slave will come on a day that he does not expect, and in an hour that he does not know, and he will punish him with the greatest severity, and will assign him his part with the hypocrites. This is where his weeping and the gnashing of his teeth will be.
The kind of Christianity that we have been exposed to in the West, the Christianity from North America and from Europe. Has this done a lot of damage to us, Archbishop?
Yes, well, let me tell you, Christianity, it is only the Ethiopian Orthodox Church that never involved in this kind of slavery business and all that. But I feel, you know, historically, I am sure that some other people would not like me to talk about it. Churches in the West, they have been instrumental to make slavery out of human beings.
They say we living in the end times, the last days, the end of the sunshine. Global warming, terrorism and genocide. I ain't with the stereotype, never believe the hype. They put things on the news, but they control the news. They control the way how you think, cause they controlling you. They violating human rights and the charter. The Federal Reserve ain't got nothing good to offer. 800 billion or more tax for the dollar. When they put the microchip in, it's gonna be hard to swallow. I take a look at Haiti, Iraq and Africa. We're born in the struggle, they made us to suffer, yo. All we got to do is just stand up. We all bleed and breathe the same air, get your hands up. If we all equal, how come you living better than me? That means I'm a slave and I gotta get free. I ain't working paying taxes to no worthless paper. And some people in the churches, they worship paper. Yo, look at the shit that happened in Jamaica. Know why your meth investors wanna take Jamaica. It ain't easy where I'm from. Everybody around here gotta struggle in the slums. Gotta live like dogs, it ain't easy around my way. Gunshots busting, someone dying every day. Police, you know. So I gotta stay hard. I put my trust, my faith, my life in the Lord. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the weak get weaker. I gotta stay strong for bright days, a better future. So I'm always sipping something strong. Got me smoking on cess for the stress. I stay blessed. Oh yes, I'm on the net watching zeitgeist addendum. Seeking knowledge, a lot is blind up and wisdom. They kill us with taxes, working for the paper, knowing that we can't have shit. We need access to things that we can't get, like a better life for my grandkids. All across the world, people die from starvation. They suffer and they cry for salvation. Stand up for your rights like Bob Marley told you. Break away the chains and don't let them control you. Easy around the world, yo. Constant struggle here for every boy and girl. It ain't easy being me. Crooked cops wanna lock me in the penitentiary. Did a change really come when Obama won it? Getting stimulus package, taking all that money. Well, I got change, about $2.50. I know my rights, so the cops can't hit me. The nation of Jah Rastafari's with me. We ain't gon' bow or put up with this tyranny. The new world order, one world government. They acting like they God and blaspheme the covenant. I feel it for the lost 95%. Hand to mouth every day, can't find a cent. Can't pay the rent or send the kids to school. You better till the soil, you better plant the food. All the plagues, the epidemics, the swine flu, HIV, AIDS is coming at you. All the good things that they promote is not true. I'd rather hit the hills, rise and stay natural. It ain't easy. No, it ain't easy. Life is hard. You gotta stay strong. Down on bended knees, I'm praying to the Lord. It ain't easy. Life ain't fair. It's not fair. You don't show me love. We gonna stay strong every day. Stay strong, my brother. Give thanks, my sister. Stand up, everyone. Stand up for your rights, I say. We need to be free human beings.
Tenestalin, a new world line of Judah Christos order is here. Brothers and sisters, have no fear. We're going to straighten out the international scales of commerce.